Well, the responses about Tooncast downsizing doesn't seem to be the best there, as the article itself is explaining how Tooncast isn't really gonna shut down, it's just going to be downsized. It was said that Sky notified its subscribers that the channels Tooncast and TCM they would be discontinued from their services at the end of the year. And it is said that, however, it will not be now that the commercials will stop being commercialized, but at some point in the near 2024. So, it's not officially going to shut down next year. It's just going to be decommercialized. So, chances are, it can still keep going just without using a lot of advertising. Probably just using some promos and bumpers about the channel being downsized. Because it would, according to continue from the article, it says, so why did Sky now report that the channels would be discontinued? Because it was the cable operator who did not renew the contract and therefore will stop offering them to its clients from December 31st, as the company had a decision to anticipate the fact that Warner Bros. Discovery will, quote-unquote, disconnect them in the coming year, according to a statement given to some users. So that means that that Warner Bros. Discovery in Latin America said that they will supposedly disconnect, but not really, in the next year, which means that there is a sign that Tooncast will still thrive in some or even one T provider left, with those that are going to discontinue the channel's line of being dropped from their lineups, save for some exceptions. The movement is just one of the many steps Warner Bros. Discovery in Latin America has taken on television in recent years, getting rid of its most abandoned channels or obsolete to put new signals in place in line with the current interests of the average viewer. It is unknown if this would be the case of Tooncast and or TCM, and if Warner Bros. Discovery in Latin America, you are planning to launch new channels in their respective locations, or conversely, they will reduce your pay TV space with this measure. Added to this, DirecTV notified its subscribers that from February 1st, 2024, TCM will leave the grid next to HTV and Glitz, two of Warner Bros. Discovery's so-called quote-unquote abandoned channels in Latin America. We don't know yet if the company also plans to get rid of these two signals on par with Tooncast and TCM, but any information will be reported shortly. So it really says it all at this point. There isn't that much of any updates yet, so it's best to wait to see if they are actually going to be confirmed to be shut down. They are not sure to see how it will go on the channel and if it will really be gone or not. And DirecTV in Latin America did list TCM, not Tooncast, so chances are that it might likely stay on DirecTV in Latin America while TCM leaves. However, with the responses about Tooncast news in yesterday really brought to some mixed thoughts on many people. Case in point, ToonHive did a post about Tooncast that it will shut down, while in reality, it isn't. It's just going to be downsized. It's going to be downsized next year. We are not sure if there is actually going to be a confirmation on Warner Bros. Discovery doing a post if that actually happens later on this year or next year about Tooncast, especially that it is turning 15 years old in early December. And you know what really makes me feel very unpleasant about that article about saying on Tooncast supposedly shutting down, while in reality it's just gonna be downsized, and not all TV providers, some of them might actually decide to keep the channel after all? Many of them are blaming David Zaslav for this. Now, I am not going to go too much there, but it is easily safe to say this. Zaslav did not cause the downsizing of Tooncast. I hate David Zaslav, but I like to keep in mind, he is only in charge of Warburg's Discovery in the USA. He is not in charge of Warburg's Discovery in international markets. Reasons on why that Tooncast is easily downsizing is because ever since HBO Max in Latin America launched, the channel supposedly went on autopilot, which I guess I can see why. I mean, it is the first time where a streaming service really turned a channel to go more on autopilot. Looking at you, Universal Kids! So, I mean, there are still ways that Tooncast is still going to thrive. Maybe in 2024, maybe even on 2025. Who knows? But my goodness, Zaslav did not make this idea! Presenting Fernando Medin. He is the president and managing director for Warburg's Discovery in Latin America and in the U.S. Hispanic community for Warburg's Discovery. So, I guess that means that he's also technically in charge of channels like Discovery Familia, which is quite surprising there. But, even though I really despise Zaslav for what he did to Warburg's Discovery and Discovery as a whole, people really need to stop blaming everything because of him. Because of shows leaving on Max, just because of their leaving on the platform, even though they leave due to licensing expiring, the license expiring, and then there's stuff like this. Did Zaslav cause the demise of Cartoon Network Studios to no longer have its building? No. Cartoon Network Studios is still going on. It's just being moved to that new Warburg's building. And it wasn't a Warburg's Discovery move. It was an AT&T move. Warner Bros. Discovery also did not cause on what Toonami is doing as it's struggling. If anything, it's AT&T's fault. And it's AT&T's fault for making Warburg's Discovery happen. And I really don't like how AT&T just decided to sell off Crunchyroll as it is currently monopolizing the anime industry. And did Zaslav cause Tooncast to be downsized? No. It wasn't his decision. It was probably because of Fernando Medin and the other people who worked on Warburg's Discovery in Latin America, and that the channel has been on autopilot. It is not fully shutting down, it is just being downsized in this regard there. Jeez Louise, it's like they're doing this. Instead of blame Canada, it's like, blame Zaslav! Blame Zaslav! These types of people just drive me nuts there. But I don't think that Tooncast is fully going to shut down next year. It's just going to be downsized. And no, it is not a Zaslav move, and it never was. I can see the channel still thriving, it just with less viewership. But then again, it has been done before. Most recently with Spectrum channels being dropped, like Disney XD, Disney Junior, and Freeform of all channels. But what I can say is that Tooncast, I don't think it's shutting down next year. I think it's just being downsized. It's not fully going away. And if it does go away, then there has to be an actual confirmation of the channel being shutting down. If that'll ever happen next year or 2025, who knows? There needs to be an update about that. Anyway, guys, that's all I gotta say in this video because, well, Tooncast, yes, it has been going on autopilot. And yes, Checker Pass and HBO Max in Latin America are some causes on why the channel is being downsized. But it is not fully going to shut down. That's what I think. I think the channel is just not going to shut down. It's just going to be downsized. And that's how it's going to work there. I have heard that it might be replaced by a new AVOD service, like that Boomerang service that is still here to this day. And also, it would be nice if streaming services would allow live TV, at least on their respective companies. Come on, Cartoon Network on HBO Max, Disney Channel on Disney Plus, Nickelodeon on Paramount Plus. They are missing something that is very special and that could have been useful. It could work for cord-cutting measures. Anyway, guys, this is Kawaii Life Antonio, signing off. Peace.